Hi. Now, today I'm gonna do my review of Bioshock 2 by 2K Games for the PS3, of course. Now, Bioshock 2 takes place, I would say, like 2 years, say, after Bioshock 1, and your character from the first game isn't in this game because he's escaped. And in this you play as a big daddy called Project Delta. And it's made it that you're like an older class, like a first edition kind of big daddy, like you were one of the very first models to ever be made. And it's not interesting. I have to say the story in Bioshock 2 isn't really that interesting at all compared to the first game, and the twists, if there is any twists, aren't all that good at all. I mean, the whole point in the game is your assigned little sister, Eleanor, gets taken away and you've just got to go find her. That's basically the story. I mean the characters in this game are just as good, I would like to think, as the characters in the first game, which is good because those constant radio messages that come up every 2 seconds, they're still really interesting to listen to because really detailed, really long, and the voice acting is probably on par with Bioshock 1 as one of the best ever. Another criticism I definitely have with Bioshock 2 is the graphics. I mean, it came out a year at least after Bioshock 1, and it's obviously got to be built on the same engine, but it looks worse than the first game. I mean, the first game I thought was one of the best graphic games I've ever seen in my life, but this game is quite terrible. I mean, there are beautiful colours at times because there's some glowing plant life. That's about as far as it goes. But every 2 seconds there's texture popping, there's dull graphics, everything looks the same. Everything's just like, it'll just be one photo of like a dirty wall, and it'll be that same dirty wall for like the entire level. There's nothing different in it. It's just inconsistency. The graphics it's terrible, and the weapons didn't look as good, the plasma effects weren't as good. I just thought that it was like a level below Bioshock 1, that was ridiculously disappointing. Gameplay wise, the whole premise that you could hold a weapon in one hand and a plasmid in the other hand and use them at the same time, a la Skyrim, but it doesn't work. I don't know why, but the whole thing about using a plasmid and a weapon at the same time should work. It should be brilliant. You should be able to set someone on fire, shoot them, kill them, and enjoy it. But for this game, it's just, I don't know what it is. I just kind of missed the whole switch, fire, switch, weapon. Oh, he's went out of fire, I've still not killed him, I'll have to switch again. He's hit me, I fired him. That was quite cool. It was strategic. In this, you just run in all guns blazing. And that leads to another problem with the gameplay, is that your health plummets. Your health plummets down, and it's tiny. Your health bar on your screen is like that. On your screen, it is tiny, ridiculously tiny, unnecessarily tiny, and it goes down so fast. I mean, in Bioshock 1 you would get hit and your health would go down, and if you were hitting your enemies normally, their health would go down, but if you scored a headshot it would do critical damage. In this, if you get hit your health goes down, but in this your enemies do headshots on your persons every second hit, and that's really annoying. My health bar went down in like one hit, and that leads to another criticism of gameplay, is that in the first Bioshock game you got to carry 9 first aid kits. In this you only get to carry 5. Really don't understand the whole point in that. later on in the game there's some... It's one of those passive abilities that you can upgrade the amount of first aid kits you can carry, but you have to equip that on a bar and you only get so many, and that's annoying because you have to choose. And you can upgrade your health using the Adam machines, like the Gatherer's Gardens. And it's the same story that I've just said about with your Adam bar, your Eve bar, your Eve meter. It's the same story. It's pointless, pathetic and stupid, unnecessary. Made the game a lot harder than it actually was. And there's another criticism I'm going to give about the game, is that when you're going around, in the first game, going back to that, when you're running around and you're looting, you're finding health kits at points quite far apart from each other, and there was only ever one at a time, so you had to kind of stretch and spread out your 9 first aid kits, and that was cool. And you found money every so often, but it was only ever like $1 or $2, maybe even up to $5 sometimes, if you're lucky. And sometimes you found bullets, and even then there weren't that many bullets, so it was good to loot in the first game because half the time you didn't get a lot, so you had an incentive to loot. In this game, I would open one container, and in one container, a random container, there would be 3 health kits, 2 Eves, and about 50 machine gun rounds. Unnecessary. Looting in this game is virtually obsolete because within the first couple of people or boxes you search, you're fully stocked on first aid kits, Eve hypos, and like there's food everywhere, and that puts your health and Eve up, and vice versa puts it down. So at times there's no need for health kits, and there's times when you're looting you get overwhelmed by the amount of health kits there are, overwhelmed by the amount of Eve hypos there are, which makes you think, if you're going to leave that many in the game, why are you only limiting us to 5? What's the point in that? And then there's an overwhelming amount of ammo. I only ever found myself using one gun the entire time. A, because it was most effective against the enemies I was fighting at that time, and B, because I kept finding ammo for it, and I never ever ran out. I would go into a fight, hold down R1 until I died, basically. Just constantly hold it down, or it was the R2, whatever. I would just do that, and then by the end of it, I would come out with full ammo, which is really weird. Seeing how I unloaded like 4 full rounds on you, and I've just come out with full ammo. It's pretty damn weird. Now on the positives for gameplay, thank God. Plasmas, there's more, and it's easier to sort them out, easier to use, easier to upgrade, etc, etc. That's cool, but they don't look as cool as they do in Bioshock 1. I would say they're powerful a lot than Bioshock 1's plasmids. Another good point is that your passive abilities things, can't remember what they're tonics, that's it, your tonics. There's ridiculous amounts of tonics. Ridiculous amounts, and each of them has like 3 upgrades. So there's like hundreds. But instead of picking like a few in Bioshock 1, you get to pick like 16, which is cool. But at the Gatherer's Gardens you have to spend Adam unlocking racks. But that's cool, that's quite cool. I really enjoyed that. Hacking in this is ridiculously easier. Oh dear, it's so much easier. But at times I did feel like in Deus Ex Human Revolution I did have to hack a bit too much to get through the game. Research. You remember in Bioshock 1 when you had the research camera and you would take a picture and it would just produce a still image, you get your rating, the rank thing would go up. it was alright, but I just wanted it to be easier, quicker. And this, you have to wait until the camera focuses, which is retarded. Take your picture, and a little box will come up with the enemy name, a circle, and a wee number thing that will go up gradually. And the more damage and more creative damage you do, like you might shoot your enemy, set them on fire, then use telekinesis to pick up an item, fling it at them, then blow them up, then go up and melee them. And every time you do that, your score skyrockets until it reaches like a certain milestone, like A. Until it reaches the pinnacle of A, which is like 400 or something, then it'll stop. That 400 is like 400 XP that adds to your bar. And you actually see your bar going up when you're attacking your enemy, and that was really, really cool. But the danger, but this comes into another criticism, is that the danger with this was the whole waiting for it to focus, and the fact that when you've done it, you have to hinky ways to be creative to kill your enemies, and that would leave you vulnerable to getting damage, then having to use your health kits, which you only had 5 of. And then there was a lot of times you died. But overall, researching in this game was a hell of a lot better. Weapons in this game are virtually the same. You didn't get a pistol, which is understandable because you're a big hulking machine. But I kind of missed it. You get all your usual weapons from the last game. You get some new weapons like the harpoon gun, and that's the only one I can remember because that was the only one that was interesting. That's about it for the gameplay. I'm just going to quickly round up on Last in Appeal because I think you get the gist of the game already. I had multiplayer, but you know, no one ever played it, so oh well. I'm just going to wrap up there basically because I think in my head actually I've kind of given the gist of how the game's played out. The story is terrible, graphics are terrible. This is all compared to the first game. Graphics are terrible, story's terrible, gameplay's hit and miss. Presentation is basically the same as the first game, but worse. It's terrible. Last Appeal was terrible because there's multiplayer but no one plays it because there's far better games out there. One ultimate criticism I've got though is for the Circus of Value. That is not in the game at all. You'll go to the Circus of Value, the little dancey song will come on, and I'll be like waiting for the clown to say, "Welcome to the Circus of Value." You know what I mean? It doesn't say anything. It might laugh. That's about it. It doesn't say "Welcome to the Circus of Value," or it doesn't say what my favourite line from Bioshock 1, my ultimate favourite line is, "Come back when you get some money, buddy." That's my favourite line from Bioshock 1. You would have no money and he would just say, "Come back when you get some money, buddy." How awesome is that? And he would say E at the end of buddy to rhyme with money. That was awesome. I might sound really weird saying that, but you know, I loved it. It made me laugh. I mean, even the Mexican from the gun thing, I had no idea what he was saying, but I laughed. But that wasn't as good as the Circus of Value clown. I really missed that clown in Bioshock 2. So, I mean, I've said everything's terrible, which would then should lead me to give it like a scorey like 4 out of 10, which is like even Midway Games wouldn't publish this shit. But overall, I'm just going to give Bioshock 2 a 6 out of 10, which is, it's good, but you should really be thinking about buying it at a pre-owned price tag, say like £10. So that's it for my review for Bioshock 2. So thanks for watching, take care, love your Simbas, and love your PS3. Bye bye.